Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Wednesday, May 21st, and we are here trying to help you navigate your financial journey. Lots of different ways to get there. You know, when I hit the Waze or Google Maps, a lot of different ways to get to my destination. I don't know if you ever use these apps, Mark, but I always find it's funny where it's like they take you on like this crazy route to save you 2 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to go straight through. I'm good. That's kind of my personality. But you know what? There are long and winding roads to get to wherever you want to get, and maybe that's a better route for you. If you need some assistance, consider us Waze for your financial life. Just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you'd like to join us on the air live, check the box, and we would be delighted to get you on. While you're on the website, check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. That is the whopping $45 investment for the next 12 months, where you will have access to 4 live webinars and the entire back catalog of webinars, as well as bonus audio and video content. And our next webinar is coming up. Mike Quincy of Consumer Reports. He is a car and truck expert. He will be joining us Thursday evening, June 5th, 7 Eastern Time. I have so many questions for Mike, and I'm so happy he agreed to join us because the car, auto, truck market, it's nuts right now. So I know that he's going to help hold our hands and get us through this. So please consider subscribing to Jill on Money Live so you can catch that yourself. All right, let's do some emails. This is from Cheryl, who writes, I am the power of attorney for my 83-year-old mother. I am preparing her to move into a retirement community. She will likely sell her home this summer. She will net $210,000. She also has about $357,000 in traditional IRAs and receives $2,800 a month from Social Security. Her care will be $4,535 a month. Got that, guys? $4,500, but only $2,800 coming in. Okay, but wait. She also has $800,000 in a taxable stock portfolio, and it generates about $5,000 per quarter in dividends. She also has a small Roth IRA, both of which she does not want to touch. She wants to preserve that as an inheritance. Okay. The plan she says she wants is to fund her care using the traditional IRAs and a safe investment of the proceeds of the home. Okay. It seems, so again, Cheryl goes on to write, it seems like she can afford it, but let me know if you think otherwise. I am trying to understand how to minimize her federal and state tax liability on the withdrawals from the IRA, as well as the stock portfolio. So what we know is, it's funny, her care will cost $45.35. I wonder if there must be other costs though. Don't you think? That seems like that might just be for the facility. That would be $1,700 a month. I'm guessing that they need like another $1,000 a month in income. And so she has $5,000 a quarter, right? Is that what her, yes, $5,000 a quarter. So she's got $20,000 from there. She doesn't want to sell anything in the stock portfolio. Because, gang, if she does not sell that and that is inherited, the kids the beneficiaries will get a step up in cost basis. So she'll have this money in her house, her $210,000. We can use that. We could just ladder that in CDs, frankly, just make it really boring. And then she should pull out whatever her required minimum distribution is from her retirement account. And that's it. I think that's fine. I think she's got that $350,000 is in that account. It's going to be perfect. And you can't really minimize the tax liability on that. You just can't. One thing would be maybe what I might do is take a look at that taxable stock portfolio and make sure that everything in that portfolio is what she wants to own. Because, I get that you like the dividends, but I'm just wondering, it'd be nice not to have those dividends because that's just taxable income to her, right? That $20,000 that's coming out in dividends. It would be nice if we didn't have that, and then you could really use just the IRA account to get your taxable income. But I don't know, it may not be worth it. I guess the only other thing to consider would be, are the children in a higher tax bracket or a lower tax bracket than mom? Because there is a case to be made that if mom is in let's just pretend that mom is in the 22% tax bracket, right? Probably about. And maybe we should be taking more money out of the retirement account and pop her into the 24% bracket because you and your siblings are in like the 37% bracket. That can happen. Sometimes it's better to accelerate the older generation's money out of those accounts simply because they're going to be in a lower tax bracket than you will be. So just want to think about that. And maybe if you want to get back in touch with us and talk about what everyone's situation is in terms of the beneficiaries, we can help guide you. Okay, Robert is asking about a retirement plan. He says, I'm 60 years old. I live in Washington. My wife is 53. We have a 401k from my old job, $90,000, as well as a $270,000 lump sum deferred comp that will pay out in June of 2028. Okay, that sounds good. So far, so good. Also, an IRA with $1.1 million, and my wife has a $200,000 IRA. We also have an investment account with about $100,000 and keep $30,000 in the bank. We live in our home. It's valued at $1.5 million with, don't cry, Mark, a 2.75% 30-year fixed rate mortgage. The balance is $280,000. So Robert's going to keep working for another couple of years, making $200,000 a year. His wife will work for 5 or 7 more years at $100,000 a year. Question: should we be concerned about taxes later in life and capital gains on a home sale if we were to sell and move for retirement? Can the equity help purchase a vacation house? All right, let me just go back for a second. The taxes that you're going to pay it sure is something that you should be concerned with. On the other hand, I'm wondering, like you say, that you're continuing to put money into your IRA. Maybe you should stop doing that. I mean, for your wife, she's a little bit younger, but you're 60, you're going to keep putting money away. I might build up my investment account a little bit, and then we would think about, if you're going to retire in a couple of years, to look at your $1.1 million IRA as well as that lump sum deferred comp payout and the old 401k. We put those all together, right? $1.5 million. And we would start to think about, Robert, whether or not you should be pulling money out of that traditional account, which you will ultimately combine, in order to live on it. And then just let your wife do her thing. I mean, I think that it's fine. I'm not sure you guys need to be putting a lot more money into your IRA, but she's younger. We can do that. So I think that's the concern about taxes later in life, which is that pile of untaxed retirement money will be taxed ultimately. I mean, you didn't tell us how much money you need to live on, but I presume we're going to be sort of fine if we start tapping this money. Now, the question about capital gains on your home sale, well, I don't know what you were able to purchase this house for, but remember, the money that you put into this house, the original purchase, plus any improvements, not like decorating, but like, we put a new bathroom in, or we did this, something like that you can really legitimately claim, will raise your cost basis. When you sell your home, or if you sell your home, you will be able to, as a couple, exclude $500,000 of your accumulation from capital gains. But, if all of a sudden your house is now worth $2 million and your cost basis was $500,000, you're going to pay capital gains. And there's no way to really change that on your personal residence. Okay. So, the equity, if you sold it, could you purchase a vacation home? Maybe. We'd have to see if that works for you. I think that what the main point here is that you have a lot of money that has a tax liability associated with it. The IRA, the traditional IRA, the deferred comp, the old 401k, plus the equity in your home. And you should have a plan to manage that. Okay? All right. Oh, I've been yakking, boy, Mark. Okay. Graziella writes, I love your podcast. Dear Jill and Mark. Okay. So Mark, pay attention. I love your podcast. I just retired last year, and I have a variable annuity, which I started to collect. I wonder if she means that she annuitized it and is receiving payments. She says, this annuity has a high administrative fee. How do I lower it? The financial advisor who sold it to me, he wants to convert it to another annuity, and I declined. Did I make the right decision? Mark, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Ding, 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 ding.
She's 67 years old. Her RMDs are not coming till 73. Should my withdrawal from the investment be counted as RMDs? Okay, wait a second. So look, if the variable annuity is a retirement variable annuity, like it's an IRA from an old employer, then yeah, you can use that to cover required minimum distributions. She also has a 403B and a Roth IRA, and she kind of wants to know what to do. Okay, so here's the thing, Graciela, let's kind of look at things in 3 big buckets. You've got the annuity, you've got the 403B, which is a traditional account, and a Roth IRA. You can invest the Roth IRA however you want. The 403B has to, if you're going to change that, if you were going to roll it over, you would roll it to an IRA rollover. And the only way that, I don't even think we would convert it. He didn't mention any money on the sidelines. And the other part of this is that the annuity, it really depends on whether the annuity is a retirement annuity or a non-retirement annuity. One way to get rid of annuities with high fees is to annuitize them and just like get the money out. The other way is to just pull the money out, but then you'll be taxed on all the accumulation. So we'd really need to know the details of this contract before giving you more guidance, okay? I hope that helps. Okay, next up. Hi, Jill. My name is Joe from Northern California. I love your show. I love you right back, Joe. I'm 58 years old, single, and I plan to retire at age 65 when I'm eligible for Medicare. My mortgage is paid off. I don't have any significant debt. By the way, Joe, you're sounding like a very eligible bachelor with money and a mortgage that's paid off and no debt. I'm happy about that. Okay. I make $75,000 a year. My monthly expenses are $3,000 a month. Oh my God. Okay. He's got a brokerage account with $115,000, a Roth with $135,000, a 401k with $450,000 and $50,000 in the bank. My 2 nephews are the beneficiaries of my accounts. Am I on the right track to retirement? Joe, you are indeed. I don't know what your Social Security is going to be, but if you're going to be working until you're age 65 and you're going to collect your Social Security at age 67 or 70, you got plenty of money saved, and boy, do you have lucky nephews. Sounds good to me. Brad writes, he has been wrestling with a recent job offer that's been presented to him. Okay, here's what he got. I love these. I love job choice questions. I really do, because it makes me think like, what would I need to get my new job? Okay. So Brad says, I work in the private sector doing HVAC work. I make about 90, let's just call it $100,000 a year. And he has a 401k. He has been offered a federal government position. So I guess the federal government is actually hiring. He would do the exact same thing. He'd make less money, 75 or 80 grand a year, right? So he'd take a haircut of about 25%. In the government, he would have a thrift savings plan, but he'd also have a pension. He said, I'd like some help on this decision because it would mean taking a big pay cut. I'm 38, will continue to work for 20 years, but I'd like to retire early as well. Okay. Okay, so I don't know like so much about your living situation right now. For example, could you support yourself on that 75 or 80 grand a year? That's your first question, right? And the second question is, if you can, do you feel comfortable making this bet? I mean, it used to be, I would say, go work for the federal government. What's going to happen? Now you can get cut. And the last person in is usually the first person out. So I want to make sure that what you've been offered is a job that we think has legs to it, more than a couple of years. I'm not sure about all the other things going on in your life. My guess is that this would be worth it to you simply because of the pension, right? But there's some risk. Mark, can you believe we're talking about risk with a government job?
Yes.
I mean, we never used to think that, right? It's really different. So I want to hear more about this guy. Do you want to take the government job or not?
I need to know more. It's good that he wants to work in this job for the next 20 years. So he would obviously, if he doesn't get blown out, he would have that pension. I'd like to know what the pension details are. I'd like to know how much money he has saved already.
Yeah.
How much he spends.
We need more info. Get in touch with us. Marcus says he's been watching and listening to us for about a year, and he says, I think I have a unique question. Okay, let's see. Marcus is going to turn 43 later this year. He's married. He's got 2 kids. One just graduated from high school. The other is in 6th grade. He says, I have a good job with a state pension, but due to some injuries, not a long-term option. I've got enough time in the pension plan to pull retirement and start collecting now. Meanwhile, I have another job in the private sector that I've lined up, and it could replace my income from that previous state job. The big question I'm trying to answer is the options around the annuity. Okay, pay attention, Mark. You love these options. Option 1 is a 12-payment annuity, which is $3,600 a month with a 3% COLA. Option 2, a lump sum, $188,000 with a partial payment, $2,685 a month with a 3% COLA. And option 3 is I can adjust the lump sum to be lower and my monthly to be higher. For example, $123,000 lump sum and $3,000 a month as the pension. Any lump sum I would plan on rolling over into an IRA. Okay, so
Good options.
Good options. He's married with 2 kids. Okay, my first question, Marcus, is are these options, do they have a spousal benefit? I'm just wondering. Because without a spousal benefit, it's a little bit riskier, right? Because then it's like I take the annuity, and then what happens if like 3 years later you drop dead? What happens to the payments? That's one question to ask. And number 2 is, what other money have you saved? I mean, it doesn't sound like you actually need the annuity right now. So oddly enough, I am actually leaning towards a lump sum because of his age. But I want to know more about this because I don't know about these injuries. I don't know if you'd want to have some consistent payment. And I really want to know more about whether these payments would continue to your wife if you predecease her. So
I'm the opposite.
You want the money?
Yeah, the lump sum, it's not compelling enough for me to give up the partial annuity. I would, if you're telling me he's 43 and he can turn on $3,600 a month now for the rest of his life, and his wife gets survivor benefit.
Yeah, but what if she doesn't get survivor benefit?
Well, that's the big key. I don't know. I'm making the assumption that there's some sort of survivor benefit. I would take the annuity.
I don't know. There's something about having control of your money when you're very young.
It's not a ton of money, though. It's a nice chunk of money, but it's not life-changing.
Maybe it is to him.
Yeah, we need to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll find out. See, this is good. This is why you have 2 different opinions. And there are many ways to get there. So follow up with us. We want to bring you on the program. That's for sure. Okay. If you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air live by checking the box. Guys, come on the air live. Do you see all these questions we answer in the last couple of times we've done email episodes? We're like, we need more information. We need more information. We need more information. That's what it really means. So come on the air. We'll change your name, okay? We'll change where you're from. We'll make it all very seamless for you. Can you do that? We're very nice people, sort of, mostly. At least on the air with you guys. We are. Okay. Get in touch with us. Again, JillOnMoney.com. That is our website. Just bookmark the website. I know that you're going to come back. You can subscribe to this program, Jill on Money, on the Odyssey app. And you can also subscribe to our sister podcast called Money Watch, which airs on the weekends, also on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your favorite podcast. Leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. Try to do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.